Hey y'all, this is Mr. Pepin, and for our 6th week of online science, we are going to be exploring organism adaptations. Last week, we discussed the structures and functions of different organisms. This week, we're going to look at how organisms utilize these various structures, functions, and behavior patterns to survive in their environments. Let's take a moment to define some key terms. An adaptation is a trait of a living thing that helps it survive in its environment. An environment is everything living and non-living in an area that a plant or animal calls home. All living things, including us humans, have adaptations. Adaptations come about as a need for survival. A lot of times this happens because environments change, whether it be because of natural disasters, human interference, or other factors. And when environments change, some organisms do not survive. Some will move to new environments. And other organisms will have a certain trait or traits that will allow them to survive when environments change. Then they will pass this favorable trait on to their offspring. This will cause an adaptation to develop. To kind of go off on this point, adaptation is a long process, and it takes many generations to develop. As stated before, it comes about because an organism has a trait that helps it to survive, and then when it reproduces, it passes on this trait. Now, these traits or adaptations may be both physical or behavioral. A physical adaptation is a change to an animal's body, while a behavioral adaptation is a change in the way an animal acts. We can further divide behavioral adaptations into two different categories. They can be instinctive or they can be learned. Now, an instinctive behavior is one that an animal is born with. Some examples include defending themselves from predators or seeking out shelter. Other behaviors are learned, which means these animals, during the course of their life, will pick up new behaviors that allow them to survive. And this mostly comes about from young organisms watching their elders. Now, quick note, the ability of elders to teach the young and the inclination of the young to learn from their elders are themselves adaptations, which are developed over generations. Some examples of these learned behaviors include hunting for food, eating the right food, and recognizing certain warning signs of an approaching predator. Let's take a look at some examples of both types of adaptations. For a bird, some physical adaptations include feathers and beaks, while a behavioral adaptation includes migration, moving to a warmer climate when it gets cold. In the case of a tiger, some physical adaptations include claws and keen eyesight. Some behavioral adaptations include hunting at night. Now you'll see, oftentimes, physical and behavioral adaptations are linked. The tiger takes advantage of its keen eyesight by hunting at night. Another example of these linked adaptations is in the case of the penguin. Its physical adaptation is its thick skin that allows it to keep warm in its cold climate. It takes advantage of this thick skin by huddling together. By doing this, they are able to not only keep themselves warm, but also their young. As stated, a behavior, huddling together, that takes advantage of a physical adaptation, thick skin. As stated before, Adaptations are not only present in animals, but also in plants. A cactus has physical adaptations such as spines to protect itself from predators. It also has behavioral adaptations. It opens its flowers at night when it is cooler. Another example of plant adaptations include roots, which allow plants to soak up nutrients from the soil. That is a physical adaptation. A behavioral adaptation is when plant leaves grow towards the sunlight in order to soak in all the extra nutrients from the sunlight. It is pretty hard to believe, but plants do also exhibit physical as well as behavioral adaptations. With this in mind, we're now going to move to our assignment for the week. Part 1 of your science assignment is going to be labeling different adaptations in both plants and animals. You are going to be presented with various ecosystems, such as the desert, the Arctic Circle, and the ocean. You are going to have different adaptations on the left and descriptions of those adaptations on the right. Make sure you match the correct adaptation to the correct organism. For instance, I'm not so sure if a cactus has scales. That adaptation might make better sense when matched to a different organism. Also, you will not be using all of the descriptions. You'll see there are 4 spots for adaptations and there are 5 descriptions. That means one of them will not be used. One further note. If you come across a word that you are not familiar with, for example, fronds, that is an adaptation, look it up in the Google search bar. All you have to do is type in the word, get the definition, and then you will be better able to match it to the correct organism. That's part 1 of your assignment. Part 2 is to choose your own organism and list some of its adaptations. The instructions are here, but I am going to present you with an example. For my organism, I chose the fennec fox. Its ecosystem is the desert, which is characterized by extreme climates, either hot or cold, which means it has very little available water. Now, the fennec fox needs food, and it is an omnivore, which means it eats both plants and animals. Some examples include insects, small reptiles, and fruit. It also needs water, but it obtains this water through an adaptation that I'm going to get to. Its adaptations, which are over here on the right, include large ears, which it uses to listen for prey, as well as cool itself down. It has adapted kidneys, which allow it to obtain extra water from the organisms it eats. Last but not least, it is a nocturnal hunter, which means it hunts at night to avoid the heat of the day. For your own organism assignment, you will need to list the ecosystem that it lives in, what it needs in order to survive, and its adaptations that allow it to survive. And you'll notice I labeled all of these adaptations on my organism diagram. If you have any further questions about your assignment, remember, you can always email me or come to office hours. When you're done, mark this as finished and then turn it in to Google Classroom. Good luck, class. I know you can do it.